right, we back. My expert opinion, the greatest show in the
world. Ah, the crew got to do it.
Come on, man. Y'all watch the show? Y'all watch the show? All right, cool. Well, my expert opinion, the greatest show in the world. All right. Y'all know I love the Brooklyn episodes.
Hit that like,
hit that share. Let everybody know you in here. Don't cost you no paper unless you some mother
hater.
And don't be one of those. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the share. Let your peoples know, yo, this is the show that you rocking with. Shout out to everybody who kind of spoke up for us as far as like the BT Awards podcast nominations. We appreciate you guys, but we would appreciate that you congratulate the people who actually made the list, because, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. But when it's not your time, you celebrate those who are enjoying their time. So that's where we at with it. MECC.
Salute, King.
How you feeling, sir?
I'm blessed, but not as blessed as my homegirl, Sky Brewer. She just came out of heart surgery. You just hit me a couple minutes ago, and I told you I was going to shout you out. God bless you. Happy that you back. You're safe. I told you we was going to be laughing about this next week. I'm going to be laughing at you next week because you had a heart surgery and everything's fine. You was worried for no reason. I told you. God bless.
God bless. God got you. God got you.
One time for my little sister.
Shout out to the gang.
Rock boy G. Rock boy G. That's that Brooklyn energy.
Word.
Eastern Parkway all of a sudden.
Facts. That's Eastern Parkway all the way. Splat murder.
Happy to be here, nigga. You know the vibes.
That's what it is.
Shout out to Champ.
We got a fact. Shout out to Champ. Champ is OT getting money, handling his business. Shout out to biggest in Vegas, celebrating his birthday. So
my man Champ would have been in this chair right now going crazy with the beatbox.
Facts.
Word. Shout out to Champ.
Today, we got a legend. There's not many producers who can say they've worked with Biggie and Tupac. There's not many producers who have not only those two, but Jay-Z on the list. There's not many producers who've produced anthems that to this day still ring out. Like, when we talk about this man sitting across from me, there's so much greatness. But I think MECC's motivation is to find out why I didn't go a little bit further. Okay. We got DR Period in the building. Clapping so hard, my bracer came on.
There you go.
Damn.
There you go.
That's what's motherfucking period. Big Brooklyn, nigga.
What's going on, fam?
Resume is ridiculous, bro. That's a ridiculous resume.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we run that down? Like, what didn't we mention?
We all mentioned a little bit of everything, you know. On the hip hop side, R&B, y'all didn't put Color Me Bad in it, y'all didn't put CNC Music Factory, y'all didn't put Ashford and Simpson, y'all didn't put the Jacksons. Yeah, the list is crazy.
The
you
list
know,
is crazy.
Now mind you, this is years of development. You know, every year was something for me. When I first got in the game, the first year was getting all my music taken, and it was going out the door, hitting radio, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Second year, I caught a wind of that. Third year, I started getting better. Fourth year, it just started growing and growing and growing. Then business started kicking in. Then I started associating myself with understanding what I was doing. And then the growth began from there.
Well, let's go back to that first year.
Okay.
Who was taking your music?
Well, it wasn't a stealing thing. It was a thing where it wasn't even a giving away thing. It was more of a, yo, I'm going to a studio. A studio? What is that? All right, yo, this guy named Fresh Gordon, he's down there in Bed-Stuy. Let's go to his crib. These guys are Ultramix in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? They doing sounds, go to their studio, you know? Z Studios in Brooklyn, go to his studio. Now, mind you, I'm being introduced to drum machines for the first time on that level, studio-wise.
Right.
I'm just playing patterns. playing rhythms, playing different grooves, playing beats, and leaving. Now sessions is coming in, and mind you, those machines is still on.
Right.
So people taking, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? And I'm hearing, oh, that sound like the thing I was doing at that studio or this studio. That was my first year understanding what I got myself into.
Wow. What records were them?
Okay, we'll start with, let's take it to the first record. Bad Boys. You heard of the group Bad Boys?
Okay.
Spec the Gadget.
Yeah.
Well, you got MJ, you got Special K, you got all the other them, B and all of them. Now I ain't saying I did the record, but I'm running with this circle and they taking me to studios and we are making records. Then I do the joint, get it out. Then we do Gilligan Island, Force MDs. That comes out. A lot of records started happening. So it was like groups like Mighty Mike Masters. It was groups like the Rugged MCs, stuff like that. So these is all the groups, neighborhood, local groups, making local records and getting that local credibility from the boroughs.
Right.
And those is the kind of records that was being made, but I didn't know that me hitting a drum machine, making a beat here, making a beat there, started stemming the understanding of like, yo, you producing.
Who was taking credit?
The groups.
When the records came
Yeah.
out, you see who produced it?
Well, it says they produced the records. Yeah, because in those days it was produced by him or produced by him. That wasn't an issue. It was a situation where it was just the label and the name of the group. So it was no credits because these was independent companies putting out records. So I don't even think the independent companies at that time
knew
understand that
like,
they was
yo,
a label.
He did the drums. We need
Right,
to call him up.
they didn't know proper credit and structure at that time. They just was, oh, we got a nice sounding rap record. Boom, it flies out the door. But enough of those started making me realize the reality, like, yo, you're producing.
What year was this?
This is like early 90s, like late 89, 88, during the Kane era, during the Positive K and all those dudes. IOU dancers. This is when Puffy's running around being a club promoter, doing college parties. This is during where we all going to Lion King and what is the other club called? It's a square. It was something square on 42nd Street.
Albee Square.
No, that's a more.
Nah, that's Albee Square more. That's when me and Biz used to run together. This is the days me and Biz running together. Me and Just Ice and DMX, beatbox. We all brothers. Me, Biz Markie, Dougie Fresh, Rozelle, all of us. We all beatbox dudes hitting the A train, meeting up at a station.
You said DMX?
DMX and Just Ice, Latoya.
Okay.
Remember those records? Taking you back. You see what I'm saying?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's those eras of records being developed and things is happening, music is being made. So this is me coming in the game going like, yo, this is it. This is it. I see something. Now, I was a human beatbox for a lot of people. And the thing about me being a human beatbox, this is how I develop relationships. I'll go to this borough, hang out with Dogg uptown, start understanding, meet Rozelle and meet Wiz, the human beatboxing. I'm meeting so many different people. Then I'm in Brooklyn. That's my stomping ground, born and raised. So I'm hanging with Biz. Me and Biz was really tight in our early days of human beatboxing.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to Biz, you know? And DMX, that used to beatbox for Just Ice. He took me to
Not that DMX. Yeah.
a record company called, I think it was called Sleeping Bag. Sleeping Bag
Sleeping Bag
Records.
Records.
Sleeping Bag
Yeah,
Records.
it was Sleeping Bag Records.
Sleeping Bag.
Yeah, this is the
Who's
time.
coming up
yo,
with these
yo,
names?
yo,
I was
this
label.
was that.
I remember
was
Sleeping Bag.
the golden era being birthed. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Where we all started realizing our gifts, our talents, and our mistakes at the same time. So I'm learning, making records that I had a whole year just, oh wow, I should have said something about that. Oh wow, they done took that. And then sampling, and people hearing samples go, oh man, we could take this sample and do it this way and that way. And me being a musician, that gave me the upper hand because I play instruments.
Right.
So instead of me always sampling a beat, I used to just play it.
What do you
play it over keyboards, drums, guitar, bass, you name it, I'm on it. Just to make it sound like that sample.
Right.
And then start playing it. But my studio wasn't a studio at the time. My studio was more of a put together. You see what I'm saying?
Piece from here,
It
piece
was
from there.
a little bit of everything. I had what we call a radio for recording, another radio to play the beat, then a Casio keyboard sitting there with a Soulsonic drum. Somehow, some way, I connect the wires and made MIDI plugs, where the Soulsonic drum is playing out the speaker of the radio, and somehow I had the Casio keyboard connected to the wire, so you're hearing both, and everybody in the room had to be quiet, and the person was rapping, go ahead and start rapping. So while they playing, I ain't had no sequence, no patterns to create any kind of format and structure.
So you
I had to play live.
Time.
So I played the whole thing
crazy.
live, and
Wow.
that developed my keyboard skills. And then I sit in front of TVs and hear TV shows, commercials, and that was my training. I wanted to play Oscar Mayer commercials. I wanted to play all the jingles, all the cartoons. And I started getting nice in it. And we started doing parties. Me, MJ, and all of us running around.
How old are you when this is happening?
This was when I was 15, 14
Where did you
years
pick
old.
up the musical background in playing from the church, or are you just
No, that's my household. My household is full of, okay, let me rewind it even more.
Yeah.
I come from a household of musical genius. I'm gonna say that. I can't even express it no more. My mom's Miss P. Every musician from that era know her. Mama P is the one that, you play bass, you play drums, let me let you meet this guy over here, he play keyboards. And now you got Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now you got Common Sense. Now you got Crown Heights. Now you got BT Express. That's who she was. She was the person that connected and
People together.
put the dots. But her goal was always, all her kids, y'all go to school, but somebody better pick up an instrument. If you ain't picking up no instrument, don't think you living in this household. And it's not like we get kicked on the street. It's like, yeah, you gotta go live with Uncle Willie. You gotta go live with Grandma. You gotta go live somewhere else. So we all had to learn instruments. And
Damn,
then,
I heard
and-
you know
so
go
you
to
could-
school, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or you get kicked out the crib. Or you know what I'm saying? You shit like that, but you pick up an instrument, you get kicked out the crib, you don't pick up an instrument?
You don't get kicked out the crib, but what it is, it was a music house. Now, my house was the house we call the musician dungeon, where every musician on the planet don't have nowhere to live or nowhere to go, nowhere to jam. They call it jamming there. Came to my mom's crib, and she had the basement always set up for them to go in there and just start practicing the instrument. Now, mind you, they ain't in there certain days. I'm down there on the drums. I'm down there on the keyboards. I'm just playing around, but I don't know what I'm doing because it's just instruments, and I'm just learning them, and I'm getting excited over them.
Right.
So time goes on, and I get into junior high school. Then I meet a man called Mr. Evans, known as Sticks. That's James Brown drummer. Him and Clyde is the ones that's responsible for funky drum and all the James Brown drum patterns that the music industry sample from to this day.
Wow.
This is my music teacher now. 271, IS 271 in Brooklyn, Herkimer Street. Taught me 4 years of music. Yo, stop being on the drums. Go over there on the keyboard today. Get over there on the bass. Yeah, pick that horn up. I ain't gonna say the blow word, you know what I mean? Get over here, wait for me to go crazy. So, you know,
Look what you did.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when I realized that I was being trained by the greatest, one of the greatest, then in the circle of musician, you had this guy, he's a white man, Jew, very educated, Abby Roosevelt. And he's the manager, Village People, Madonna, Debbie Gibson, Fred Czar, Cyndi Lauper. This man is the musical icon, but he's my mom's best friend.
Oh, you was groomed.
So you understand where this is going,
you
right?
got groomed.
Yeah, you cheated.
Yeah.
I didn't cheat.
You
Because I had to
was
earn it.
manufactured.
You cheated. Yeah.
'Cause it's like a
He was
person.
manufactured.
Yeah,
Nah, check this out.
DR, you a science experiment, bro.
Check this out. All my brothers had the
Nigga said
same
you was
opportunity.
manufactured.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All my brothers had the same opportunity.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying? It just was in me to learn that and be about that lifestyle.
Right.
Like I took a risk where now we talking a year with crackers on the block,
Right.
drug dealers. Now mind you, I'm not DR Perry at the time. I'm D, but big D, because I'm a workout buff. You know, I'm a little overeating now, but it's all good.
living.
Right.
So
Good living.
I'm a workout buff at the time. I'm the guy that everybody call, yo, I got a problem with this dude on the block. I want to go fight. I box. I did it all. I did martial arts, all that. So
Mac.
that's who I was.
Wait.
But
Hold on.
yeah. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a second. Household music. He had to play every single instrument.
Right.
He's getting groomed by Madonna's manager. He's doing martial arts. He boxes.
There you go.
Brother introducing
This-
Earth, Wind, and
this-
Fire.
What are you doing with your kids? It's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah.
So now we talking about me learning the culture of hip hop, not just music and instruments. I'm learning the lifestyle. Now I'm breakdancing. You know, because I can do backflips. I'm doing all this stuff.
Yeah,
now I'm writing
laugh.
graffiti.
He roundhouse the shit out of him.
I'm writing graffiti with tune.
Why is that always your...
You see?
Why can't he just laugh along with him? Why he got...
Look at this nigga break dance. It's over, man.
It's so crazy because now I'm understanding this is a way of life.
Right.
So I'm writing graffiti now. I'm riding trains to the last stop, hitting yards. I'm running with one of the greatest graffiti writers, Toom. And he hits everything. And I'm check 68. I'm right behind him. I'm his student. So I'm learning how to do it all. I got the black book. I got everything. I don't want to go to school in Brooklyn. Now it's graduation time. I'm going uptown. So I go to Martin Luther King. Right across the street from the school, because it was a movie called Fame in those days, and it was like a performing arts school.
Right.
I wanted that, but my records and my grades wasn't all that good.
Right.
I didn't make it, but I was across the street. And my goal and my dream was always to get in that school. And I couldn't, because all of Brooklyn decided they don't want to go to the school in Brooklyn. They want to go uptown with me. And they done turned Martin Luther King into a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Brooklyn don't know how to act when they go certain places. So now I get kicked out of Martin Luther King.
Right.
I can't even finish school there. Send me back down to Boys and Girls High, right back to where
I like how
where I
you
needed to be.
conveniently blamed all your friends. for
Yeah,
you
I blame them because I wasn't up there wilding, but I was a part of some things that I didn't need to be a part
Right.
of. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
the one that boxed
I
and do
did-
kung fu
yeah.
with, you ain't had nothing to
I'm
do
like,
with that.
I know you can't
Yeah.
beat him, but I can fight him for you. I was that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But they love me for that. But
Right.
one of the things they loved more about me was the fact that I had an idea to do something. And they was willing to go, yo, where you taking this? So everywhere I went, they pretty much went. So getting Boys and Girls. Now this is how it all really started for me, stepping up on the music. So I met a brother named Dave. Well, Dave been my childhood friend forever. We call him Super Dave. He's from the projects. He's from St. Mark's.
Right.
He's on Prospect, right over there. He's up the hill. We just say up the hill, Saratoga.
Right.
So he's in Boys and Girls High, and you know, I just hope this don't bite me. So young man had a Dr. Rhythm drum machine. And I was like, yo, D, you know what it is, right?
Oh, man.
Now, most people plot for money, plot for, you know what I'm saying, jewelry. They go hard for all those things. But we went hard to get that Dr. Rhythm from homie.
Wow.
And because of that, D was like, I don't even want to hold that, man, because we done did something crazy. You going to jail. He told me I was going to jail. But fortunately, homeboy kept it where we left it at.
Right.
He kept it real. Oh, I'm a real street dude. He kept it there.
Right.
But that Dr. Rhythm started something else. And I could tell you some of the records I started making on that machine.
Annie Up. Was
Annie Up ain't even come. Annie Up wasn't even... I mean, we can fast forward. Let's fast
no,
forward.
don't
because-
fast forward. Don't fast forward.
You know what I'm saying?
The only reason I say Annie Up is how you got it.
Okay, ante up. Was the term of how I got it. Put it that way.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
So what did you
And
make on the actual machine?
the machine started me understanding because it was a sequence that came with a Dr. Rhythm. If anybody familiar with a Dr. Rhythm drum machine, you make your patterns and you could save them and you could put them in sequence and put track 1, track 2, track 3, and it could all be in sequence.
Right.
So I learned that, and then I got another machine after that, and it was called a TR-909, and it had a thing on it called MIDI. Now MIDI was another piece that you could connect another component machine to and sync them together.
Yeah.
So that's how I started getting the keyboards and the drum machine to start making sense.
Right.
Then we started growing and growing. Then they invented this thing called the MPC-60.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Now the MPC-60, it was the very first one called the MPC-60
And then there was a 62.
made by Roger Lynn.
Right.
Because Roger Lynn had another drum machine called the Lynn drum. I wasn't really big on the Lynn drum because the Lynn drum was just full of 808s and 909 sounds, what we using now in music. It didn't really excite me. But the MP excited me so much to the point I could sample, I could save it, I could get busy on it. You know what I mean? So
16 level shit.
that's when
All right.
the birth of all the other stuff started. The real street records started being made. Now,
How
in the
about
meantime,
some hardcore?
that's what came from the MPC-60.
That's when I first got introduced to you and M.O.P. How about some hardcore? That was my record.
Same.
That was the Brooklyn anthem.
Right.
And you created that.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, that was a record that wasn't even made to be a record. Mind you, M.O.P. ain't a group at the time. Fame is a rapper. Bill could rap, but they wasn't like locked in at the time. But we had a brother named Lazy Lays.
Shout to Lays.
Lays used to be with Scoob, from Scoob and Scrap, Scoob Lover. It was Lays and Scoob, the Uptown 2. And it was they beatbox named Opie at the time. But Opie was never really leaving the hood like that. I always left the hood, so I became a beatbox. So to kind of let that story build up to Lays end up, he was one of the dudes that was the first on everything. The first fly car, the first bag check, the first K-Swift sneakers, the first Hawaiian shirts. He was the first in all of it. Him and Scoob Lover. Fly, the flyest dudes I ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? They was the first on that. But he did the record called The Hill Is Real. It was a compilation he did. And on The Hill Is Real, you had Little Fam. Then you had an artist named Big King. Then you had a couple different artists on it. So he came, knocked on my door. Yo, I know you were doing that music, man. You know what I'm saying? I got slapped, man. He, you know what I'm saying? I know he got something in him and this and that and the third. And the slapping him used to just walk to the crib and see me and talk. And the thing about me, instead of me being there to produce them,
For those that don't know, Slap, that's Lil Fame.
that's Lil Fame.
Right.
That's
He got
Fizzy.
wild different names and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Big shout outs to M.O.P.
Right.
They changed my life. Them brothers changed my life, right? So what I say, we end up getting in the basement. Now, mind you, my studio's in my basement. It's not a real studio. It's a studio look, you know. I got a bunch of milk crates with some equipment sitting on top and looking nice and set up. But I got this big pole coming through, this sewer pole coming through. Anybody on the block start flushing, you hear whoosh.
Right.
There's all this water coming through this pipe.
Right.
Now, what's so crazy about this, we trying to do vocals, and how we did vocals now, mind you, I don't know. Vocal booth is on this side,
Chill, yo.
and the
We tryna
studio's
keep it
on this
clean,
side.
you heard? Chill out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The vocal booth, right?
They going crazy
So-
over the.
I ain't listening to that. We telling the story. You want to hear the story? Let's tell the story.
This is a GAT effect. It ain't got nothing to do with it.
I ain't say one word.
And get excited, all right? so we not gonna do that.
That's
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's
He
the
can
Super Bowl.
There you go. Let's give him his
Yeah,
name.
right, yeah.
So it's this big pipe, right?
Right.
Going through the basement. Sewer pipe.
Right at the wrong
Sewer pipe got
That's your
basement,
man's.
right?
Yo, Dior, that's your man's.
Stop it.
Right.
Sewer pipe going through the basement. So it's time to drop vocals. So we got to hurry up and do our vocals before somebody flush, because we're going to hear it on the mic, and there was no way around it. So if I take the mic out the room, you still hear it. It was that loud.
Damn.
So if you listen to the record, How About Some Hardcore, and really listen to the vocals, you will hear in the background. You'll think that I like literally. Like
I never heard that
sound. Yeah, it's in the record. It's in the
vocals?
It's in
Turn
the
the speaker on.
vocals.
Turn the
It's
speaker
in
on.
the vocals.
Turn the speaker
You
on.
have to hear it, and then you be like, yo, I hear it. So, you know, we did a lot of.
Can you point this out? Is there a spot
I mean, you
that
gotta
can
listen
point
to it because it's random. Like, I don't know specifically like
What-
the location spot.
Right.
But you gotta listen to it and really like dig your ears in it. So on your time,
Yeah,
when you can really put on your ears,
gotta catch
just
it on
listen
your
in the
time,
back.
man.
Yo, the streaming for that song
This
about
is-
to go sky
yeah.
high, bro.
It's crazy.
Listening for
There'll
the
be
flush
people
effect.
listening to
Yeah.
it over and over.
But
listening, bro.
one of the things about that sound that actually added to the record, it actually made the record sound something different. Now the beat was a beat that I had and I made, and it wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna make. Because M.O.P. wasn't M.O.P. at the time. It was just Fame and his homeboy that I knew it as, you know?
Right.
But then I'm in there playing it, and one thing led to another. Next thing you know, Fame like, how about some hardcore? Bill like, yeah, we like it raw. The Bill was like, how about some hardcore? The Fame like, yeah, we like it raw. And they just kept doing it, and I'm turning the beat up louder and louder, and we caught a rhythm to it. And the next thing you know, we had to lay it down. So we laid it down, we liked it. We only had the hook and a little bit of the verse, because they didn't really write the verse out all the way. They were just playing around with it. Lays came through and heard it and was like, finish it. So we finished it, and when we finished it, we had How About Some Hardcore. He took it up to Select Records, and they signed us right there on the spot.
Off that one record.
Off that one record.
And they wasn't a group at that
It
time.
wasn't even a group.
They didn't have M.O.P. at that time.
M.O.P. was a neighborhood crew.
Mash out
The
posse.
bigger brothers of Little Fame and Bill homies and bigger
Right.
brothers and cousins.
Right.
That's what they did. They rep Brownsville to the fullest. Like,
Right.
you got a problem with one dude of Brownsville, you got all these other dudes to deal with.
That's
you
when
know
you
what I'm
had
saying?
the
That was
plazas.
the mash out
Yeah.
posse.
Crazy.
That's what that represented. And they was like, yo, we the next generation. So that came about. And then next thing I know, we talk and they like, yo, we gonna do this.
I moved with M.O.P.'s next generation,
Yeah.
straight up and down, act like you want a
On
confrontation.
There you go.
I
You
packed
see what
my
I'm saying?
back, got to stay strapped. I bust mine. Sing that shit, man.
see what I'm
No,
saying?
because the very
See?
next line
You
you
see what
gonna
I'm
pull.
saying?
Queens niggas don't want to
The
do the
very
full
next,
verses,
the very
bro.
next line you gonna pull. That's why I'm not doing it.
There you
Bust
go.
mine. Don't try to. Yeah, that is.
See how fast
You
It
see
is a
that?
pause.
You know what I mean?
fuck you think this is, nigga? Shut your ass up.
So we end up forming a group, M.O.P. It came from the older G's saying, yo, y'all the next generation. Y'all ain't out in the streets like us. Y'all gonna do, that's why the support was there. So when we did videos and we did anything, shows, we had 100 Brownsville, Brooklyn dudes from Bed-Stuy. It's like, yo, we with Brownsville, East New York. Like, we had Brooklyn so heavy. Like, every time we did something, it was literally like 100 of us up in the club just wilding.
Dope.
And it was so dope because we didn't understand that we showed everybody that there's a chance to make it out of the hood. And then everybody's passing away, going to jail, getting into what they get into. So we made the How About Some Hardcore, but the dude who owned the label, Fred Menier, he was like, yo, you got to do the whole album. And I've never produced the whole album before. And I'm like, a whole album? In my headspace, because I listened to albums, I was like, that's a lot of work. But I never knew I was built to do albums. And I said, all right, I'll do it. And I produced the whole album except one song, and that was Guns N' Roses by Silver D. He did that because he was the A&R. He said, man, I signed this. I got to get on this. But the album was so, because now I'm doing homework. I'm listening to West Coast. I'm listening to East Coast. I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening to hardcore. I'm listening to underground. I'm listening to everything. So I do the album, and it sounds like I'm 6 or 8 different producers on one album.
Right.
But this is one dude doing all the production.
What was your vision like when you sit down and say, I'm gonna put that album together, these guys aren't even a group yet? What did you picture this turning out to be?
My competition was a group called NWA.
Say less.
So when I seen NWA and how they was like, and didn't care, and I was listening to the acoustic and all the arrangements and the way the drum and the way the skits and all that was, I said, oh, we gotta.
That was the bar.
That was it for me.
Right, that's the level.
So I'm in there every day. So every time I come in the studio, they like, yo, what are you thinking about? So I got mad blue stills, say what, and the tracks, you know, Drama Lord. I mean, I'm coming with heat. Like, that was some of my greatest introduction work ever. And when Fred got this album, he lost his mind. The Streets got that album, they lost their mind.
Their energy was up.
We was out of here, and them dudes coming together, it was crazy. It's crazy. I'ma say, we was the birth of the hardest, rugged sound that came from New York on the Brooklyn side.
Facts.
I say we started that. Where everybody like, yo, we this hardcore, I don't care, kill your moms and throw yours. We was doing that. We was talking that. No labels wasn't putting that out until we came. And when we came with it, we started something.
Wait a minute. There might be an argument against that. Onyx.
He said
Onyx,
Queens.
He said Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I said from
Onyx is from Queens.
Oh, yeah,
Brooklyn.
solidified.
You see what I'm saying? I ain't saying Queens. Onyx had their thing. Onyx did their thing.
Right.
You know, and Onyx had what they had, but it was more hardcore rock.
Right.
We talking hardcore gutter, Brooklyn, raw, kill them, leave them in the backyard for dead type.
You know that shit, man.
We had the kind of music where dudes would be like, yo, I don't
M.O.P
fight,
made you want to do
but
something to
this music
somebody.
here
It's
make me
gonna
want to fight everybody.
Fact.
No reason.
You know what I'm saying? I
Word.
mean, when How About Some Hardcore used to come on in the tunnel, dudes literally used to be backing up to the wall because they knew that record come on, something going down. Every time they play that record, it was something.
In Brownsville,
Something
niggas
happened.
created
And I was like, wow. Look what we created. Look what we started. You know what I'm saying? We the
Right.
godfathers of that. People don't see it as that. You see what I'm saying? But, hey, like I said,
Wow.
that's why the
That's 'cause
sound
you don't
is so
tell the
locked
story
in.
enough, D. You don't tell
Yeah,
the story
I know.
enough.
Yeah.
I know.
You're not outside enough.
You know what it is?
Shout to Fame.
I'm a lab
Shout out to
tech.
Dance.
You know what I mean? I'm the scientist that stays in the lab. And that's all I did my whole career.
Yeah,
When they used to call me, yo, come to the video shoot. Come to the movie. Come here, come there, come to this. I'm like, man, I gotta make some beats, man. I ain't got time for none of that.
Right.
And I ain't gonna say it was a bad choice, but I think that was one of the greatest choices I made for as being able to have a catalog I built for myself. I stayed that focused. But the only thing, I didn't get the popularity that comes with that kind of focus.
Right.
Because there's two types of producers. The producer that stays in the lab and the producer that stays in the lab and also stay on the front line. That was the difference. I wasn't a frontline producer. I had the respect of all A&Rs. It wasn't one label I couldn't walk into and be like, yo, I got something for you. I'm signing artists on just a conversation. I don't got no music, nothing ready for them. Like, yo, I got an artist and he's dope and I think what do you want? That's what it was. Let me tell you how crazy it was. It was so crazy. Russell Simmons come to my crib, my house. He brought Leo Collins to my house to the hood in the middle of Brownsville. Then I moved over to Bushwick. Then they started coming to Bushwick and Decatur Street.
And Evergreen, right?
You know what I'm saying? And
I remember I was there.
I'm sitting there, Russell in the
remember I was
hallway
there.
waiting till I get finished doing what I'm doing to have a conversation with me. This Russell Simmons now.
What was
Like,
the conversation about?
The conversation was like, why you don't come over to Def Jam? That's the conversation he wanted to have with me.
Wow, what was the answer?
My answer was, okay, what I'm gonna do over there. Now, mind you, I'm doing records with this one, Loose Cannon. I'm doing records with Island. I'm doing records with Universal. I'm doing records with everybody. Mind you, I'm not just doing hip hop. I'm doing pop. I'm doing CNC Music Factory. I'm doing Come On and Dance. I'm doing all these records, Respect. I'm doing all this, Dayhan with the Jackson. I'm doing all this stuff.
Right.
And I got the hardest, the most noisiest hip hop sound that ever came out of Brooklyn. And they wanted that at Def Jam.
What were they offering?
They was offering everything. They was like
What's
this,
everything?
because I was Next Level Entertainment. They said, yo, we'll give you your own label. We'll give you whatever you want. We'll sign whoever you want. And I was like, huh? And I held out. Then I came across a kid called Smooth the Hustler. So I held out with Smooth, right? So I decided to go into what I did with M.O.P. I took that same philosophy, that same thinking, and went in that with Smooth project.
With the broken language.
Then I pulled the team together and said, okay, this is going to be the new kid that I'm working with. Yeah, he's cool, but he sounds like the M.O.P. or he remind me of Bill, or he remind me of this dude and all that.
Brownsville, bro.
I said, yo, this is a Brownsville sound we create like Motown. Motown sound like Motown.
Right.
Like it don't matter who's using the Motown musician, they're gonna give you that sound.
Right.
And that's what I had. I had that sound that if you was from Brownsville, you had that attitude. So it wasn't hard to pull it out of you with the music. All you gotta do is say, yeah, I'm down. And I do the rest from there. I'm the type of dude, you come in and go, leave him on the block, I'm gonna and come back, it's a whole hook. A whole song waiting with the hook, the verses, the breakdown, the bridge, the outro, the intro, everything. That's who I was. And I was in it so hard. So I started working with Smooth the Hustler. So everybody was like, yo, man, but he sound like a one-man this and all. They were saying all kinds of stuff.
Now I gotta ask you, the creation of broken language.
That's what I'm going to get to.
Yeah. Break it
So
down.
I started working with Smooth the Hustler, right? So now here I am working with Smooth the Hustler, and we didn't get the broken language yet. We did this record called Hustling. So the record was a nice vibe, but it was there, but it wasn't there. He wasn't yet his identity of where people could respect him the way they needed to.
Right.
So we took the record and we put in, Hot 97 was running this contest called Battle of the Beats. We won. And when we won that, everybody like, oh, this dude Smooth must be dope. And now to mind you, off the hype and excitement and everything, I'm thinking I could go in the studio and just start making beats. I go in there and start playing around with some music, and I ran into a glitch. And it was a sample that I wanted to take, and it kept doing this. Boogank. Boogank. It kept stopping. It would not play the full width of the sample. So I'm saying to myself, like, I can't get this thing. I turned the machine off, rebooted, put it on, did everything in my power, but it stuck. For some reason, when that disc went in there with that particular sequence I sampled on, it stayed the same way. And then Smooth came knocked on my door one morning. I never forget. Yo, what you doing? I ain't doing that. I'm just sitting here messing with this machine, messing with this sound. He's like, what's that? I'm like, yeah, it's, you know what I'm saying? I said, I mess around and make a beat that goes, bing, 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 bing. And you know what he did? He lit up, yo, that kind of sound dope. Yo, let me go get Trig. Just off that. I was like,
And he just left the crib to
he
go
just
get
left the crib to go get Trig. I don't know what he heard or what he was thinking. So I'm sitting there like, yo, maybe something there. I said, he's excited. Let me get excited. So I started getting excited too. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what kind of beat I'm gonna make? The next thing I know, so I'm going all the way in with it. And I'm like, yo, I need an intro, and it gotta be like, so I'm so into it. When they
That shit got
came
me
back,
hype right now.
the beat was already done. Now Trig, this is the interesting part. Now Trig got a rhyme book that he thought was his, but he ended up picking his little sister book up. And it started, she was writing something, I don't know who, was in school or something or whatever, and it started with, base your eyes on the guy, the this, that, the this, that, and such, the this, that. And he was looking at that, he's like, yo, my little sister be bugging, making a joke out of it. And he said, I end up going, big shots on the guy, don't have no gun. And then Smooth was like, yeah, but I could be like, the such and such, the such. And then next thing you know, the became the theme. And before we knew it, we had broken language.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Big shot.
You know what I'm saying?
So hold on. So I gotta ask this though. You made the song, you made the record off of a glitch.
Off a glitch.
When you were done with that, were you like, I hope this glitch don't fix itself? Like, I hope this shit don't start playing the right way all of a sudden?
At this point, I knew it was damaged.
Right.
So what I did after the beat was made, I put a fresh disc in there.
Right.
And just saved the whole beat
shit.
like it is.
Wow.
So when I saved it, and then I burnt it on DAT, because we had this thing called DAT then, where you save it on a DAT. So I saved the instrumental on a DAT, and then I had one on what I call the Tamscan 338.
Right.
Because it was an 8-track Tamscan what I recorded it on. That's what I made the record on.
Yeah.
And M.O.P album was done on a 4-track.
Jeez.
The whole album. We had a 4-track.
The verse.
Yeah. And
Drums, sample.
because what we did, we didn't even have separation. There was 2 tracks then, and people didn't even know it.
Wow.
But the mixing of it, I didn't mix that good then. I used to always over mix. All my mix was in what we call the red. Everybody call that the danger zone. When you're making records, don't take it to the red.
Yeah. If you turn it up, the speakers is like...
Yeah, I took everything to the red. That's why all those records got the grid to it. I mixed them all in red. And then we end up trying to play around with bigger studios when we got the budget and all that, and it just wouldn't have...
It wasn't the same sound.
It wasn't the same vibe. So we end up keeping, I say we kept everything. Wow. We kept everything we did in the basement and actually just put it out like that and just put a good mastering on it. And it worked.
Everybody did a remix to that Broken Language. You had Red and Meth, Pat Remy. Who else did a remix to that record? Everybody did a remix.
Lloyd Banks, 50, all of these dudes. Everybody.
I could play you a beat.
You know,
from Rockwaller. Of that, and I was supposed to.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout to Rock though, but it ain't hit me like the original.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rockwaller's my dude, man.
Yeah.
You know why he's my dude? Because it's crazy. He had this group he was running with called Flatliners at the time.
Right. This
is when Rock
we
was.
We just had this conversation yesterday.
We talked about him yesterday because
That's crazy.
Tupac joined the Gravediggers, another horrorcore group.
Right, and Flatline was the other horrorcore group.
But I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm the godfather again of horrorcore. The name, the sound, the everything.
You came up with that.
I can go head to head with anybody and prove it that I was the godfather of that. Let me tell you why I was the godfather of that. Now, mind you, this is another reason why Russell at the house. His nephew, Red Rum,
Russell's
is an artist.
Right.
And he wants to do something with his nephew, but his nephew's bugging him out because they believe in what they call devil music. That's how he was saying it. It's like some devil, no, you know what? Graveyard music. It's graveyard music. So I was hearing what he was doing. I said, well, I'm kind of close to that. I got something that I call horrorcore. And I had a group called the Headless Horsemen, right? Now, mind you, the Headless Horsemen was my development group at the time that I'm working with the horrorcore on. So Russell was like, look, listen, man, I want you to work with my group. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna work with your group, you gotta sign my group. And the concept was you sign my group, they get on the first single. So I had the power to negotiate that. And that happened. And the first record we did was called Live Evil. Live Evil. Now how I did Live Evil, man, I had all the TV horror sounds. All the Now one day I'm on a train and it's this little skinny white girl named Nora. She's on the train singing opera. She on there singing. All I heard was.
That sounded kind of.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All I heard was, I could use her vocals to replace these samples because I don't know how I'm gonna get these cleared. Yeah. Because there's a lot of Stephen King and a lot of Damien.
Yeah, and then she could do all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wes Cravens.
The first time I took a person off the street and brought him to my house, and I was like, man, I hope this lady don't like rob me or you know what I'm saying, or crazy, anything. I'm about to bring her to some of my little expensive equipment.
Right.
She wasn't homeless or nothing like that. She just was out there hustling.
I'm just amazed that you was able to get her off the train with you. Like,
yo, $100 would do a lot. I'm telling you.
Yo, my man said $100 would do a lot. and his name is DR. That's crazy.
$100
You ever been to DR? You know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Come do something strange.
I was like, yo, I got this 100, but you gotta come to my crib.
Right.
She like, come to your crib and do what? I said, sing. All you gotta do is sing, and I'm gonna give you this 100. So she went in there, started singing all these parts, and I played the sample. I said, can you sing that? And she not only could sing it, she knew what they were saying because she speak different languages.
Wow.
Come to find out, this girl is a genius. So I said, oh, wow, Nora. That's it. So I called Head this Horseman, yo, I got this girl named Nora. We gonna do this and this. So they came down, we started creating. So we get to the studio, we made the record. So the Live Evil record, we made it, Headless Horsemen get on it, everything flatliners. So we started making this music. This music was so amazing. Scoring it like a movie, like intro. And then we got this video director who lost his mind. I don't even remember this dude. He had us in real graveyards, digging people graves up, laying people on top of people caskets and doing a verse. So tip is, you think he's on the ground just rapping. He's literally in a hole on somebody's grave. I don't even know. And whoever seen this, forgive me. I don't have no choice on that. But I'm saying that's how this dude went. He was a video genius.
Right.
He made that video crazy. Then he went and found rats. Red Rum wanted to have rats crawling on him. He went and found rats with red eyes. Built this little circle so the rats don't run off. Threw Red Rum in this circle and threw all the rats on him. These rats are just crawling on him, and he's sitting there doing his. Now the most scariest part of it,
That nigga, wow.
we get to this part of the video where he's supposed to just go up on a ladder, put the noose around his neck, and act like he hanging, but we don't see his feet. This dude kicks the ladder,
Almost killed
knocks it on the
himself.
floor, and said, I need this to be real. I need this to be real. And started doing his whole verse hanging. And we was like, yo. And then after he finished, he almost was passing out. We got him down, man. We was like, yo, what you want to, yo, like, what you thinking about? He was like, it needed to be real. And that's how Live Evil
He
came
almost
about.
died.
He almost
I'm
died.
out of here. I'm out of here.
It's so real about
I'm out of here, son. We gonna take a 5-minute break. Before we took a break, we were talking about how you took a glitch and turned it into a hit record. I need y'all to pay attention to shit like that. Like, when things ain't the way you want it to be and you make it work and it becomes something great.
All the time.
So from there, let's keep it going with the Smooth the Hustler story.
So I realized that the record itself, Broken Language, it came together, and then the nightmare of it was it didn't have a hook to the label. So now at this point, we're shopping. We independent now. We doing all this. We doing all the music now independent. Now we got people eyes on us. We want to battle the beats. Everything is looking all good. But at some point now, it's like, okay, what is the strongest record we got to run with? I felt in my heart. Smooth felt in his heart. Drake felt in his heart. We all felt like, yo, Broken Language was going to be it. It's nothing out. Nothing like this.
Right.
Nobody's rocking like this. Nobody going back and forth. And y'all killing it lyrically. So that was the idea in our head. So the management at the time that was behind Smooth and everything, they was thinking big labels. Like, yo, let's go to Sony. Let's go to Interscope. Let's go to these big labels. But I was like, yeah, but it was something like, yo, somebody need to believe in us on the label side. Mm-hmm. And I learned that experience from how Select Records believed in M.O.P. on their first record.
Right.
And I seen what that did for them. It didn't take them all the way to the top, but it took them where they needed to start from.
Right.
You know, so I said, if we can get a label to at least do that for us, then we're gonna be good. So everybody was kind of against my judgment, but at that time, you know, I had the production deal. So kind of like if I say, you know, okay, this is where we're gonna go, it's pretty much what it is, you know? And the artist was with me, like, yo, D, if you say so, whatever. We went back and forth, so we get so on profile.
Right.
Now Profile's like, yeah, you know, we got Run DMC, we got Nine, we got this, you know, all the artists that they felt that did successful over at Profile.
Right.
It was like, but y'all record is good, but y'all don't have no hook on this record. So what we're gonna do is kind of focus on this Hustling record. So the Hustling record came out, and the Hustling record did what it did, you know, because it had a hook, it had everything it was looking for. But we still felt like, yo, we got this one record here that's gonna change it all for us. We fought. Now at the time, the A&R was Will Fulton. He wanted to come. Yeah, he wanted to come over there at Profile, and you know, I mean not Profile, but he wanted to come into the situation with us at Next Level and make some changes. This is where Jay-Z came in the picture. Now Dame, I knew Dame from Clark Kent. Like Dame and Clark used to run like real heavy.
Right.
They actually experienced the moment coming to my house on Herkimer and seeing my little studio system with the sewer pipe in the basement
And the flushing.
and making beats, and they like, yo, you doing all this down here in this like bathroom type spot? You know, they was excited about that. But that's how far we went back. You know, Clark and Dame was my dudes back then.
Right.
So
Shout
now
out
we
to Clark.
fast forward.
Shout out to Dame. Get well.
Big shout out to them. So we fast forward, right? So Jay and Dame was at the point trying to get a label to believe in them at that point.
Right.
So Will was like, yo, you know, Jay-Z wants to get on this record with y'all. He wants to do a record and this, that, and the third. So I always told Will, I said, I'm cool with it, you know? And then we had this thing where he had asked other producers, and at that point, Ski was producing Camp Low. Ski was like, yo, what do you think about, you know, they're gonna do it? I said, yo, let's let it happen, you know? Because I always thought Jay was nice, you know, but I just didn't really have that relationship with Jay to really dig into his talent the way I wanted to, because so much other stuff was going on.
Right.
But anyway, some politics happened, and he didn't get on the record.
What was the politics?
The politics was that, okay, why would we use Jay-Z at the time when this guy's doing this and this guy, you know, labels making choices, you know? And I'm like, yo, come on, let's let it go. They ain't gonna hurt nothing. Everybody do remixes, you know?
Right.
But they stuck to their gun, so the J record and the Smooth Hustler record didn't happen.
Damn,
Then that's when Big came around and was like, yo, I'm gonna start this movement called Brooklyn Mint. I wanna put Smooth in it, I wanna put J in it, AZ. I wanna take all the illest Brooklyn dudes and, you know, do this. And he used to be like, yo, D, you need to do some beats, because I didn't really get a chance to dig in Big the way I wanted to. Pause. The music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't get a chance to dig into that whole sound like that. You know what I'm saying? The way I want to, because Conrad and all those dudes up there they was heavy. D-Dot and all those dudes, you know, they had that whole team. They had it on Smash, you know.
Right.
But they gave me some little love, you know. They gave me a couple remixes to hit, couple different things, you know. And I guess if those things would have surfaced the way it's supposed to, then that would have put me in good standards with them.
Right.
But it was always a politic thing. You know, it's
What's
like
the politic
the
thing?
politic thing in the business then was very crew driven. Like, this is our crew. Like, who you want to be down with our crew? You ain't down with our crew, you ain't really getting in.
You outside.
Yeah, you an
outside.
outsider. So I'm like, all right, you know, I can't really be down with your crew, but I could do some things for your crew.
Right.
Yeah, but that ain't how we move it. You know, either you with us or you against us.
Yeah, come on vacation with us.
I ain't on vacation. But they was more or less.
But basically,
like,
they like to see people around.
yeah, the thing with them was, you know, it's like, yo, if I don't see you all the time, then I'm looking at it like this. I don't see you all the time. So at this point, it's like you ain't really in. So that was my fight at Rockefeller too. So even at Rockefeller, I'm like sitting there, yo, y'all signed M.O.P. And let's keep it real. M.O.P. sound is me. Like, you sign them, sign me.
Right.
Well, you know, the way rock, you know, I'm getting all the crazy politics from there, you know. Well, you know, D, because, you know, you got to do some things over here. I said, yo, my dude, I got Cameron music rocking over here. I got Bleak, I got Beans. I'm doing International Hustler, Freeway. I'm doing all these records over here. What more do I need to do to get into this situation? So Damien was like, yo, look, listen, I got a special project. You make me happy on this special project, I got you, D. I said, what is that? Then that's when Victoria Beckham came in the picture. So she's now doing the Spice Girl thing. So I give her the record. He in the studio losing his mind, like, oh my God, I didn't know you make music like this. I'm like saying to myself, I didn't either, but
But we're here now. Right. We're here now, right.
So whatever that happened, he kept on the whole model side. He didn't really concentrate too heavy on the music, but the record's supposed to hit the market. So that was a dilemma. Then there was another situation where Bleak came, and then the Tupac and Bleak record had to happen. You know, and the record was called Through My Eyes. So I'm sitting here like, all right.
Tupac and Memphis Bleak?
Yeah.
They had a Tupac
record
verse.
Yeah, the Tupac verse and Memphis Bleak. He did the hook, Bleak did the verses, and that was a combination of that.
Wow.
And I did that record.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Bleak gonna have to come up here and talk about that.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is of course this is after Tupac's death.
Yeah. After Tupac's.
And they were willing to have Bleak do a record with Tupac, despite Tupac dissing Jay-Z while he was...
Yo, it was, let me tell you, the politic game of it was about like, yo, look, listen, man. What's done is done. But over here, we still can keep things moving, you know. It was like, the thing about the music business, and I want everybody to understand, I try to be real careful how I'm going to say these words. You know, one thing is that you got to know what you're getting yourself into. And a lot of stuff that I've done, I wasn't aware of what I was getting myself into. So some of it had a lot to do with like, yo, do this and yo, here go big check. Cause I'm a big check getter. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what, you gonna give me 50 grand for this beat? Yeah, take it. Matter of fact, take 2 more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't turning nothing down, but I didn't understand what that was gonna do. I didn't know me doing this record was gonna piss this person off. And I ain't know me doing records with that person was gonna piss this person off.
So when Drake
You
says
see?
like it's really like war,
Yeah.
and it's winner take all. Sometimes you might work with somebody who's associated with somebody else. You actually catch a backlash from that.
Yeah. And that has a lot to do with, yo, could we really rock with D? But he be working with dudes we don't rock with. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that business there started affecting me.
But you were able to do production for Tupac and Big.
It was undeniable. It was like I'm coming with the right chemistry. I'm coming with the right music. You gotta buy this. And they was like, yo, we ain't kind of digging the way he's like neutral with everybody, but he is coming with the heat.
Right.
So we gotta put him in.
For the record, that's corny. That's
Yeah,
really,
yeah, I mean,
really
yeah.
corny.
It's
It's the
petty.
industry, man.
Yeah, that's the corny aspect of it. Holding it against somebody who does not get into beef with everybody else, that's corny.
Yeah.
That's
But-
really, really corny.
But for a lot of these guys, it's us. Because you may not be looking at it like, I got a problem with these people over here, but you don't know what they think. You might have stepped on some toes. There's so many different ways that someone's toes can get mashed.
Yeah.
Oh, they called you for the show. Oh, yo, tell them we want 15. Oh, now they booked this person. Oh, niggas cutting our throat. Meanwhile, the person they booked might not even know that you called
They have
them
a clue,
first.
and that's what
You
it
dig
was.
what I'm saying? It's
It
a
was
lot of that. It's a lot of that.
Stop wearing open-toed shoes. On some fucking Timberlands, some sneakers. Stop having your toes out with the pedicure showing.
Right.
Like
That shit
even
is
just now, what
funny.
you said about the
Yeah.
label making the decision not to put Jay-Z on the
Yeah.
record. As far as we knew
Right.
in the streets, that was Smooth's decision, and that's
Yeah.
why there was friction.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly. But
So
they
you're
talk.
clearing the air.
yeah,
we
they
don't know
talk,
that.
and they fixed that. You know, amongst
Right.
them men being men, and he told them what it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he ain't wanted him. Like, at the time, it would have been a good look for Jay, because Jay was still coming up. You know.
Would have been a
It
good
would have
look for
been
Smooth
and it
too.
would have been a good look for Smooth, because it would have been like, yo, these two Brooklyn dudes going
I would love
lyrically
to hear
back to
that.
back.
Right.
It was that type of chemistry.
Did you not in your career, do you feel you didn't shake the right hands and have the right dinners in order to be involved at the cool kids table? Your talent was enough. Your resume more than speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Your hits are undeniable. You have classics under your belt. You've worked with classic all-time top 5 artists.
Mm-hmm.
Big Pop, Nas, Jay, like all the 50, this one, now Drake, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel as if your lack of involvement in certain circles has hindered your progress as far as recognition is concerned?
Recognition, I say I wasn't a people's person heavy. That I can say. Because I was a lab cat. Like I said, I was the scientist that sat in there and I put the chemistry together. That's all I focused on.
So it wasn't malicious, you just prioritized the work.
That's what it was, because the way I was raised to think was, let your work speak for itself. You don't need to be in the video. You don't need to go out here and tell people who you are and all that. And during that time, it was like, yo, people read credits.
Right.
So if you're reading credits, then
you're gonna see the name.
Then you see the name. So that's what gave me a lot of leverage. Was the fact when I said I did something, and they like, but then when you see the credit, oh wow, he's on the credits. So he really did. And then I grew heavy in the check cutting world. So I was the dude that always did deals and production deals, P&D deals, little labels and all kinds of deals. I always did those deals. So every artist I walked in the door was always a situation, set up for me.
Right.
I just didn't carry the flag of like, yo, I'm DR period, yo, look at me, I'm over here making moves. I never did that because I was brought in to think like this. Yo, if you say you don't, show it.
Did you have an aversion to fame? Did you not want to be, did you avoid the limelight specifically?
I had moments. 1 minute I want something, next minute I don't. Only time I wanted it is when everybody didn't see me. Like if I'm going to the club and I'm standing online. But at the same time, my music is playing.
Who this nigga? I should have been in that goddamn
You know what I'm
video.
saying? And I'm sitting there trying
They
to
would have known me if I was in that video. I'm doing videos from now.
So this is one of the moments I'm like, man, I should have just, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
show my face a little more. But then I get over it, because something else great happened for me.
Right.
So a lot of that, of me being that way, and then remind you, I was managing myself. So here it is, a dude doing all this music, doing all this network, and managing his own business. How do I get time to market and promote myself at the same time?
Yeah, because with all the labels that you're working with,
in that time of marketing, you had to be places.
Right.
You had to do things. So if I'm places, then who's in the studio? Because I don't have no other producers. I try to work with other producers, but they couldn't really keep up with the whole idea of like 15 beats a day. Now, mind you, this is what I do a day.
Jeez, 15.
I wake up and make 15 beats a day. This is the beast mode that I am. To this very day, I make beats like that.
Story. Facts.
15.
I get up, boom, that's my exercise. You know how some dudes get up, hit the gym, do the vitamin drink, get their body in shape, all that, boom, and they ready for the day? That's what I do. Hit the machine, boom, turn it on, boom, knock some joints out, boom, boom, boom. Now I'm ready for the day. Because there's a method to that.
Yes, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? There's a method to that.
My man said 15. 15.
And let me tell you why the method was that. I came across a situation called a publishing arrangement.
Yep.
So when you're dealing with publishing, if nobody know and understand, publishing is a submitting game where you got to submit constantly, give music, constantly give tracks, constantly give songs. And the person that I came across was a company called Spirit Music Group. And I got introduced to them through big shout out to Freedom Williams from CNC Music Factory. He was one of the first dudes to say, yo, man, you're doing all this music. He recognized the fact that I had an ill work ethic. He was like, yo, this dude workflow is serious.
Right.
What are you doing with all this music? You don't got enough artists to give all this music to. Let me introduce you to somebody. He brought me over there. And when he brought me over there, they looked at my catalog. Yo, you know, first they found, yo, you sold over like 5 million records? Nah, I ain't know that. Oh, and then they come back, yo, we just did another appraisal, and yo, you up to 15 million records. I'm like, what? And then, yo, we did another, you over like 20 million records in? We just found this one. Yo, and it was going up and over and up. That's why today when I say over 30 million records, that's because they did the appraisal. They found all that catalog, all that back catalog. And the crazy part about it, I never collect correctly on that at the time.
Oh, I was about to finish that sentence.
At the time,
Right.
yeah. At the time, I didn't collect correctly on that amount. When they showed me the numbers, I said, hold it. So we could do a co-publishing, hold it. And then touch it to this very day. So my retirement plan is going to be sick. You see how everybody else talking about, yo, they just gave him a watch what I walk away with. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me because I see what's the retirement process for me.
Right.
Did you ever think to like really start with all your contacts? You could have signed all of these people that you were working with at one point or another. You could have had them all on your own label. Could have been the original Murder Inc.
Right.
Yeah, like considering the records with Dipset. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the list could go on and on. But how did that even happen?
Well, let me tell you, it's that one came from me working in a studio called Sugar Hill at the time in Jersey with Leland Robinson, right? Like Leland was my dude. He was up at Motown at the time. And how I met him through Hank Shockley, because Hank Shockley was over there
Bomb
at one
Squad.
point. Yeah, Bomb Squad. And I just finished the Public Enemy situation over there. And they was like, yo, we heard you doing Public Enemy now. Like you doing an album, you working with Flav, and you're making joints, you making hits over there. So Leland was like, yo, come to my studio, Dion and that. So I came to the studio and he just signed the artist Queen Pen. So he signed Queen Pen over there. And they was like, yo, we want to give her an album deal. You know, we want to do this, that, and the third. So at the same time, I started working with Queen Pen. And then what was so crazy, I'm in the room working with Queen Pen one day. Leland come in and was like, yo, man, you know, Cameron is over there. I say, yo, so just tell him I said what's up. He said, well, I tell him say what's up for you, and you say right here. Go tell him yourself. I was like, yo, you got a point. You know what I mean? So I go over to Cam. Talk to Cam, say what up, whatever. Cam embraced me right away, you know, boom, boom, boom. And this is when Jewel just starting to get, you know, they starting to pull this whole Dipset thing together. It ain't really there yet.
Right.
So Jim Jones says to me, yo, man, we about to do some mixtapes, man. You know, my man Duke the God, you know, we gonna put out our own mixtapes. We gonna do, you know, he did the whole mixtape spill. I was
Shout
like,
out to
all
Duke
right,
the
whatever.
God, too.
Yeah, big shout out to Duke the God.
My
So
dog.
I said, all right, cool. And then Cam was like, yo, I want to do this and do that. And then it was Jewel. Jewel said, yo, D, man, you remember the TV show, The Facts of Life? He said, there's the theme of that. I want to be like, you take the good, you take the bad, and then you have, you know, he broke it down to me. I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. So I went home that same night, made the beat, bah, 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 came back and gave it to him. It's like, oh, you doing it like that. So they did it, they put it out. Then I started doing more, put it out. So now they got the situation bubbling for them. Now they over at the Rock now. So now they did, and now they need that record. Now they've been working. So I'm hearing through the grapevine, yo, Kanye West in the studio with him, Just Blaze in the studio with him, Pharrell about to go in the studio. I'm hearing Timbaland coming, and all this, right? And I hear a little voice saying, yo, man, Jewel told you to come and check him. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna pop up. I went over there, popped up, and next thing you know, he was like, yo, we need a record that's gonna like really take us. So I came back with the beat to Hey Ma. So I came back, I said, yo, listen to this beat, check it out, listen to it. So I flipped it, easy like Sunday morning, took it and ripped it. Boom, boom, I do the scratch. Because I knew they was the two-step fly dudes, you know?
Right.
So I was thinking in that capacity, I said, let me give them something they could bounce to, because their swag was crazy.
Right.
As soon as they heard it, it's like, yo, this is crazy. But we're going to go on the road. We're going to really, really listen to it, and we're going to come back. I don't even think it was 2 hours. I got a phone call. Yo, we're going to keep that. Yo, keep that. Don't sell that to nobody. Don't give that to nobody. This, that, and the third.
Right.
So it was so crazy. The beat was already done. It wasn't normally, it was just thought of for them, but the beat was already done. And I had voices on it. And it's so crazy. The group that actually had the voice on it, they didn't take the record serious. So I had took the beat back. And then I was thinking Dipset, when they came to me with that, and I was thinking the whole chemistry, the way it can marriage together, it was a perfect fit. And then that's how we came up with Hey Ma. That's how we came up with Hey Ma. When I gave them that record, we was in the studio, and one thing led to another, and they were sitting there, and they were just running it back and forth, and next thing you know, we got the record. Now, the only thing that bugged me out about it, I didn't know the record was gonna be the most BDS spin record of the time, of that era at that point.
Wow.
History.
You said Def Jam history?
Yeah, Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I got a award, a plaque, everything for it. And I was like, oh, they get plaques for BDSs? And I didn't even understand how that whole thing worked, but it was going. Then the ASCAP Awards they was giving me that, and they was like the new producer on a up and coming DR period, this, that, and the third. And I took it all. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But my decision, I always learned to trust my judgment on different things, and that's what built the relationship with Cam. And before I knew it, I thought we was gonna be like rocking. Then here come Heat Makers. They my dudes too.
Right.
And they gave him another swag. And I started seeing them shifting in. So I started making some more joints. But at that time, they was so Dipset gone. I was like, D, don't even go over here with your little, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I couldn't compete, but at that time, they were so locked into that direction.
Right.
So
that became the Dipset sound.
Yeah, that became the Dipset sound.
Right.
And then I just fell back and I just started doing more other different artists.
How many people offered you a label deal?
About five different people offered me.
How many of them did you take seriously?
I want to know who the 5 was.
That's my master who you took serious.
Yeah. About five deals was offered to me. The only one I took serious was my first one was Select Records. They gave me my first Rock Boy record imprint. But they was indie and it was small and I could make mistakes. So if I messed up money, I wasn't out in the street. Right. So before I was gonna take the major deal, I wanted to get my feet wet because I never ran a record label before in my life. So I took that experience and I said, I need somebody that I can make some noise with. Then every day I came out my house with this dude sitting on my stoop. But I knew him. I see him on the block all the time, see him around the way. I'm like, yo, man, why you always on my stoop? What do you want? He said, yo, I just want you to hear me. And I said, all right, cool. And he started spitting. And that's Pat Poose. I was like, yo, you're the lyrical one. So he's like, yeah, I'm Pat Poose. I said, yeah, the lyrical one. And it stayed Pat Poose, the lyrical one. So that was the thing, Pat Poose, the lyrical one.
Right.
We teamed, got in the studio, we started rocking. I said, but we need a record that's crazy. He said, man, I've been working on something, but I don't know what you could do with it. Then he came with Alphabetical Slaughter. Came to A to Z. At that time, we called it A to Z / Alphabetical Slaughter.
Right.
So we did the record. Knocked it out. I said, but we need another record that's going to take it somewhere else. Then we did a feature record with Papoose, Coogee Rap, and AZ called Thug Connection. So I took it back to the label. I said, this is one of the first projects that I want to kind of start moving out with and get the ball rolling.
Right.
And they was like, oh, I don't know what this A to Z record is, but yo, this record is crazy. This record is it. I said, all right, cool. Then we put the record out, we printed it up, and that's how we started. So the very first Alphabetical Slaughter that you ever hear, the record ever done, I did.
Fire. Shout
Now,
out to Pat Poose.
Big shout out to Pat Poose.
Shout out to Pat.
You know? So that was the beginning of me taking the label serious, and then he gave me some money. And he told me to control the budget. Now, mind you, I have never controlled a budget like that before in my life, so I started doing the things that I see everybody else doing. Everybody else was doing street teams and everything. I started hiring teams. This is how Gat came in the picture. This is how Fly Tie. I went and bought them a van. I wrapped it. I was like, yo, y'all get ahead, but just don't crash the van up. They took it.
We
and
was
it in
little
the
niggas
streets.
too. Little
and then I
dirty,
started
foul
understanding that I had it. I had the idea down packed. I had the concept of being a label. So at this point, now I'm ready for the majors. But now, this is where my problem really began. They don't want to give me the label. They want me to A&R. And I'm like, I don't want to A&R for nobody. I just want to get my own imprint, blow some artists up, and make it all happen. I think you should start as an A&R, get a couple more hits under your belt. Couple more hits?
Who did that?
Like this, Def Jam did that to me. Universal did that to me. Even Interscope did that to me. I was like, A&R? I couldn't see A&R then, you know? Because the A&Rs I was dealing with, all I seen stressed out dudes. And I was like, I don't want to be that.
Right.
I could be down with anything else but be sitting in the office all day, four corners, can't go to no studio, sit here and listen to all these demos that's on your desk and be stressed out. I couldn't do that. So that was some of the problem, is that I didn't want to do the A&R to get to the label situation.
Right.
So I did production deals. So a production deal kind of gave me the creative control, but not the what we call administrative power to make final decisions.
How were they structured?
They were set up in a way where I make the music, they put the records out. The imprint says their company / me. But the only thing about it, I couldn't control what single go out first. They let me control my money, so I had payroll. That was the good thing about it. I was able to give everybody money. So everybody was getting paid messing with me, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that was the good part about it. But the bad part about it, it was the wrong choices, the wrong records, the wrong decisions that the company wanted to go out first.
No
Which records were the wrong ones?
Like, for example, we take Pat Pooh's record. Alphabetical Slaughter was a dope record, but I think Dogg Connection should have been a single. But they thought Alphabetical Slaughter because they loved the lyrical content, and I thought it was a good street record. But if you wanted to put money behind that record, I thought Dogg Connection would have been the record, due to the fact that we had AZ and we had Coogee Rap.
Right.
So that would have took the radio different, and it was one of those records. Nice hook, nice beat, and everything. And then I think it would have blew him to a point. Then he came with Alphabetical Slaughter. So it was stuff like that. Like what I thought would be first, they always want the opposite of me. So I started realizing, like, oh, I'm fighting, like, you know, a war here.
Right.
So I backed down from the production deal. Then I just started going back independent and just started putting everything out myself and stayed there. And then I got to a point in my life where it was like, you know what? Do I really need to make records? What do I need to do? So I stopped making records for a minute and started doing publishing placements and stepped my game up all the way. I started doing catalog building now. It's a different world.
Break it down.
Okay, making records is about the artist to get into the hit and see what get to radio. Publishing is about building catalog and getting TV, film, commercial, placement. So I started moving so much. I got with Wendy Williams and became a part of the program, the music director program with Art in them up at the time. And I was doing all the music bags. So the publishing house had it all registered. So every time they talk, hey, we got to do this and that and that, my beat is under it. And I'm making money. And I started thinking, wow, now I can make money just from making beats without an artist? I went stupid. It was nothing else. Went from 15 beats a day to 25 beats a day. So when I started submitting files, I literally was submitting like 100 and something beats a week to these people. This is how I was going hard.
That's a monster.
And that's why I say 60 or maybe 75% of the network playing stuff. Even to this day, that's why they can't let Annie Up go. Like, Annie Up plays in everything.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Anything
movie.
you see, that record will get placed.
Facts.
That's how much value that record got.
Now, how did that record come to be?
Okay, so let's Yo,
there's too much to talk about. Cause I'm skipping 4 Alarm Blaze. Like, wait, how did
you skip More Money with Nas and AZ? Like, that was my shit.
It's a lot of records.
Are you in the studio with them when they're recording these?
Yeah, I was in the studio. Yeah, especially More Money, More Murder. That was the most interesting section I ever seen Nas and AZ have.
How so?
Because they was listening to me. And it was real crazy because one of those dudes, he write, but he don't want to write in front of you. He want to go and do his thing over here.
Right.
He wants you to leave him alone and let him do his thing. And Nas the same way. Nas start rolling up and just sitting there, you know what I'm saying? And then he start writing. So everybody's like in their own little space. But I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, this session is kind of boring. So I go over there and just be like, yo, hey, what are you doing? And then A be like, yeah, I'm about to do such and such. And then I start dropping it. Yeah, but Nas said he gonna he gonna do this and he gonna do that. Hey, what? So A leaned to the side, start writing a little harder. I go over to Nas, yo, Nas, what you doing over there? He like, hey, you know, I'm doing this. And I said, yo, A over there, he getting it in. So now I'm creating friction.
You instigate.
Yeah, I'm instigating it.
Brownsville nigga shit.
Yeah.
So they,
Brownsville nigga
so
shit.
they literally battling in some sense, but for good. Not battling like who's better than other, but
they
who
just
can come with the illest
let's
verse
shit.
at the moment for
Yeah.
the song. And that's how More Money, More Murder came about.
That's my shit.
So when you hear the lyrical content of the song, you like, yo, these dudes is spilling out their pen game for real.
Yeah.
That's just because
DR period chose violence.
I started throwing sparks in the air, and no credit took it away from them. They already nice.
Yeah.
Right.
But to be told that someone over there is doing something right, be a little better than you, man, that's gonna raise your levels.
My man instigated it.
And it was dope. It was dope.
He tried to
It
act
was
like,
dope.
He
nigga
tried to act like his friends is the reason he got kicked out of school. Nah, son.
Nah, it was DR period.
You know what I'm saying?
He left out the fact that all those niggas he put on, from M.O.P, Papoose, Smooth and Trig, they all from Saratoga, Brownsville niggas.
Right.
Shit.
Brownsville
Right.
thing.
Saratoga.
So I created this Brownsville sound, and I called it ugly face music. Because every time my beats came on, everybody used to be like this.
Scrunch up.
I said, why everybody make that face every time they hear my music? I was like, it's that ugly music.
Right.
So then I just started running with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was so crazy because the only people that didn't want to hear that was AZ and Nas. They didn't want that.
Right.
They was like, yo, your beats is dope. But man, we want to rhyme, man. We don't want to be yelling and screaming. Because they felt like every time they hear those kind of beats, they got to get a lot of energy. But they was like, and then I realized
they're not those type of dudes.
they wasn't they was lyricists. They was ones that wanted to let the flow and the pen game ride.
Right.
So I had to kind of go with, the program. And then I start softening it up, bring the melodies up, pull back the drums, and then I found the niche. And then that's how it all started. Then A was like, yo, I'm doing another album. Come on, do another album. And then I can tell you another interesting story that bugged me out about the craziness. So here it is. A's on the album, I think album 3. So we at a place, A need a record, and I sent a record called Welcome Back, right? So A liked the beat, he did his thing, but I was told that, he's not gonna use it. So he's like, yeah, we're not gonna use that, we're just gonna do something, so I had to give him some more music. So he wasn't gonna use it. Then another opportunity Onyx came around. So Onyx was like, yo, we want you on this new album we working with, Back the Fuck Up Part 2. We want you on it because you got what we looking for. So I started giving them joy. Then I thought about that, Welcome Back. I said, yo, so if y'all coming back, then that Welcome Back, they ain't gonna use it and that ain't gonna happen. They went crazy. They call it Slam Harder. Onyx go bananas on this joint.
Right.
They had Queens. I ain't see so many people out there like that. They had everybody in this joint. So the record is a crazy record. Now the craziness, Onyx is scheduled to drop. AZ is scheduled to drop. A&Rs once again. Here they come with the bull. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're gonna put out Welcome Back as a skit from AZ at the same time while Onyx is pushing Slam on as the single. So I go to the label like, yo, why do y'all do that? Now I got Sticky on the phone. Yeah, man. And I'm like, yo, bro, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Then I got A, yo, D, you ain't, yo, A, it ain't like that. But then come to find out, it's the A&R dude that made that call for A, which the beat supposed to have been sent back. And he like, I don't even know how that ended up on the album anyway.
So you didn't speak to A?
Right.
I didn't speak to A.
You didn't speak to Onyx or
I
none
didn't
of them?
speak to none of them. It just
Damn.
all happened to come out
And
at
this
the
is
same
how that
time.
team shit happened.
God
And this will
damn,
create
son.
friction with
Right.
me and Onyx for a second, and then me and A for a second.
It make
But
you look
then
like you the bad guy.
when they found out
Yeah.
that it wasn't my cause, like, yo, I don't press the records up, I don't put them out. And then one person ain't gonna use it, I'm gonna take the beat somewhere else and somebody else gonna use it, you know? In those days, you running for the check. Who's gonna use it, who's gonna whatever. But one thing they did, and I kind of think why they did that way, people used to pay me in advance. I was that dude. D give you a beat, you gave me a check. If you ain't give me the whole thing, you gave me half of it. And the half supposed to be when I lay it, or if I lay it, or if I don't, then we just move on to something else, give me something else, and that's still go towards
But they take it as like a holding.
Yeah.
Right.
So they took that as if they paid me, and then got the nerve to put me in a crazy zone with me, my peoples, me, Onyx, my people. You know, big shout out to Onyx, man. They was men about it. They was like, yeah, D, you know, we found out that these dudes were suckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he found out that was a sucker move. So everybody looked at it like that and was like, nah, D ain't on it like that. So I got back in good standings with everybody, and we continue on doing business from that point on. But that's the madness of record labels. You got to know what you're getting yourself into, because they will do anything. Because at that point, all the labels was fighting to see who get the first numbers in the first week. That means they got to stab you just to make him look good. They're going to do it.
Right. And
you know what I'm saying?
Again, that's where that team shit came from.
That's where it came from.
Because it felt like war.
Yeah. So then now I'm going into labels and I'm trying to make moves. So we're going to rewind a little bit. Let's talk about the situation I had at Def Jam. How I got barred from Def Jam.
You got barred?
I got barred from Def Jam.
That don't even sound right.
I know. It don't sound right. It don't sound crazy. And I got barred because of music. Now, let me tell you what happened. We in the era of horrorcore, right? So Def Jam, Russell, he's with it. Russell, my dude. Russell on board. Russell's this, that, and the third. Everybody at Def Jam is with it. Leo Cole was the only one that was mad. He hated horrorcore music. He thought it was devil music. He hated it so much, he said, yo, tell that dude DR, don't come up here with that scary movie, music, whatever he's doing, he can't come in this building. So I'm starting to go to Def Jam, and I'm getting rejected. And I didn't understand. And now I understand, because the album now is getting ready to come out, and people, they name the album USA. And the album stands for Under Satan Authority. So now you got all these different organizations
Jesus Christ.
protesting Def Jam. And Def Jam never had that for music. They never had problems like that with people writing letters and government and then a radio station talking about music that they releasing that's going to destroy the kids' mind and change the spirits of people. And all because I did horrorcore.
I had that album and never knew what that stood for.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest.
That's why you just said Jesus Christ.
Yeah, when you got a rapper willing to hang himself, my nigga, like, it's a little dangerous for the kids to be watching that shit. I'm just saying, if I walk in a room, my son is like, yo, look at this rapper hanging this. Nah, turn that shit off, bro.
Bro,
turn it off.
The second single was called Satanic Verses.
Satanic Verses. And the sad thing about it, I'm on a hook.
Yo, what religious faction you down with?
No, I'm God is first in my life.
Because
that's why I don't do it now. Yo, I
came here and played a gospel record.
That's now you understand. I'm saying
changed his life.
I'm good. My life is good now.
Cool.
I'm not with it.
All
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's very, 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 very important. You know. Right. So at the end of the day, when I turned around and I see that was something that's stopping me from growing, because it almost blackballed me in the game. Because now I'm known to do, you gotta watch D, because D, he be throwing that devil music in us. He be having them satanic sounds and his frequencies is demonic, and yo, I was hearing all kinds of stuff.
Oh, the chick you found on the train, you got it in there.
Yo, but I thought it was 666. I thought that was a creative, a genius thing. I thought it was genius. I mean, I was
Them
like,
niggas heard that shit.
Stephen King can make movies and people get
Wes
scared.
Craven.
No.
Why I can't make music?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it was a bad thing. Because I knew somebody that used to listen to Flatliners, and I got kicked out of Wingate. I had to go to this program, Linden Learning, and the dude that sat next to me. You know, I thought he was a little slow, but he was a cool nigga. You know what I mean?
He's not talking about you, Matt.
But he
pointing at you, but he's not talking about you.
He used to listen to the Flatliners shit. And then one day, he turns to me and he's like, yo, I want to introduce you to the gatekeeper. I said, the gatekeeper? What the fuck is you talking about, the gatekeeper? He said, no, I can't keep it. Nigga went in his pocket, he pulled out a rock that had paint on it and wax from burning candles on it. I said, bro, what the fuck is that? He was like, this the gatekeeper, I feed him. And I was like, nah, I can't fuck with this nigga, man. Like son, go sit over there, son. You can't sit next to me no more, man. You pouring 40s on rocks and think that you feeding them. Nah,
you think that's something?
Nah.
These dudes would come to the studio with Ouija boards and candles and turning lights down. Yo, I had a cross, I kid you not, on my wall in the studio.
Right.
On the door. This is why I'm doing this is Headless Horseman.
Right.
They was into this style of music so hard. I'm in there creating. And I heard a sound go, woo, and I didn't know what that was. It didn't come out my speakers, whatever. I turned around and looked at the door with the cross on it. It turned upside down. And right then and there,
abandoned ship.
I stopped doing horrorcore beats.
Right there.
Right then and there, I said, yo, this something is wrong. I told my moms about it. I told my moms about it. She was like, let's pray. Let's pray. I kid you not.
They thought these niggas was being lyrical.
I kid you not, yo.
He thought he was being lyrical, son. These niggas was dead ass on that shit.
And I had a group called the Punishers that follow suit. If these dudes make it, here come the Punishers. And it was getting crazy. I had a whole little crew of hard dudes going crazy. Then here come RZA with the Grave Digger and them doing their thing.
Oh, shit.
So this thing is growing right now. But at the same time, I'm trying to ban this shit. I'm like, this is over. For me, I can't do this no more.
Niggas is trying to possess your soul.
I'm not
you ain't
selling
even
no
know
beats now. Yo, let me tell you this is crazy. I'm not selling no beats. The record company barred me. Like the checks is stopping. The world is about to go down for me. Yo, it was crazy. You know what saved me?
Jesus.
Jesus. That's why God gets the glory right now, brothers. God gets the glory right now. After my mom's prayed with me, yo, things changed. She said, you're going to have to do some better music. You're going to have to leave that alone. If things in the house is moving, something is here. We got to get rid of it. Let's pray. That's all she kept saying. Let's pray. So I kept doing it. And then it hit me. There was another opportunity at Def Jam again. So this time, they got Chris Lighty involved. And they got Dante Ross involved.
Rest in peace, Chris Lighty.
Rest in peace to Chris Lighty.
Right.
So Chris Lighty and Dante Ross involved. They just gave Chris Lighty Violator Records. Gave Dante No Doubt Entertainment. So I'm like, okay. Russell's talking to me. He ain't stopped talking. It was just Leo and I was barred from the building. So now, an opportunity showed up. Kevin Lyles is in control of this this soundtrack called Nutty Professor. So they needed a record. And they needed a leading record. Case. So mind you, I've got Foxy Brown and all of them. I'm making their own music. I'm doing everything. I'm the dude that's touching everything.
Right.
So now Touch Me Tease Me is doing what it's doing and killing it. But now here come, okay, what's that other record we need?
Touch Me, Tease Me, Case?
Yeah,
that was
Case.
your record too?
Nope, that's not mine.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying that was the
It
first
was
lead
moving.
off.
Yeah.
Then we needed that other record to start. Then I took them Smooth, Trigger, and DVL.
Christ. Shout to Christ.
I took them.
Shout out to Christ, yeah.
Yo, big shout out to Smooth, Christ, Trig. They went in there.
Lone Shots.
Yo, and they listened to me.
Smith Brothers.
They listen to me, right? So I say, yo, I'm gonna let y'all know this is for Def Jam. And they like, what? Def Jam rocking back with you? I'm like, not quite yet.
Right.
I got something for it. Let's see how this goes.
But if I bring him a record with a nigga named Christ on it, it might help.
Yo, I think that had a lot to do with it too.
Christ, my brother. Shout to Christ. That's my man.
So we're gonna change this narrative about me up here right now.
Right.
So I make the record. My crew can't go for that. So they had a big meeting So everybody in the building is in the conference room. So they just waiting to hear some satanic craziness coming from me. But as soon as it came on, they was looking because the record starts with vocals. So they thought it was gonna go there. But then as soon as DVL start, crew can't go for that.
No, can't
So
do.
everybody started like, okay. And then when the time the whole record is, they was like, yo, you killed that record. Yo, you killed that record. Russell on the other end like, Leo like, and I don't cuss. So he was like, you mother. He told me that.
Right.
Like, you pulled it off. You okay. And that's how I got back in the building.
That's what's up.
Right.
Yo.
Shouts out.
You know what I mean?
Yo, get this guy off the
You
screen.
gotta say that.
Get that guy off the screen.
Because of that record, Nate Dogg was actually born. Before Baby Ellis Christ, there was no Nate Dogg.
I gotta think about that.
Yeah, we got to think
That's
about
right.
Can you
that.
repeat that,
There
please?
was no
Okay,
Nate Dogg
check this
before
out.
Baby Ellis.
The style DB Elliott started.
There was no Nate Dogg.
It wasn't there yet. Nate Dogg was around, but he didn't have it the way DV Elliott. That's why they used to always compare the two. Because we on the East Coast, they on the West Coast doing their thing. But they had their little thing. I have heard him doing his little thing, you know what I'm saying? But they growing like we growing at the same time.
Right.
It looks like the style was birthed from DV Elliott. Because the way DV Elliott was doing it, you know, it just seems like that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Was Regulate
I'm not
out?
saying that is the exact facts,
Right.
But it felt like that
DV
because
no way
Elliott's
to
first.
know.
When
if you
first
over
heard him on the
here in
track.
Brooklyn doing something, and then out of nowhere you hear somebody doing something so similar to you, and you know you already making records with that, automatically you gonna think, yo, where they get that from?
That was
You know?
95, right? When DV Elliott's dropped. When did Nate drop?
Nah, Regulate was out already, right? If I'm correct.
What year did Nate Dogg drop? Because I know 95, that's when DV Elliott's Christ he started, you know what I mean?
94,
94,
Well,
95.
Def Jam at that time was infamous for getting a member of a crew that was popping. So
Yeah.
Bone Thugs were out, they went and signed a member of Bone Thugs. If this crew was popping, they went and signed a member of that crew. Like
Right.
Wu-Tang dropped, Wu-Tang was on Loud, they ran and got Method Man. Like
Yeah.
they were always going to get a
And that's
guy
when
from
Smooth
that crew.
dropped. They had got Christ, they had got
You know
Trigger.
what? And
50-50 gamble.
He had him beat. Nate was out first.
Nate was out when?
Yeah.
94.
That's when
Yeah. That's the
Christ
same
came out.
time we came
Well,
out.
around
So
the
that's the same time.
So
they
it's the
came
same time. That's why it felt like that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I ain't gonna say that was the actual truth or the actual fact. Like he heard DV Elliott say, "I'm gonna do that." Nah, you could tell he had his own thing.
Yeah.
But you can popularize something. Like if this thing happens, how do I say this? Redman, even better. Lauryn Hill's success opens the door for so many more people to come
Neo
through.
Soul. The
Because
whole
the
Neo
labels
Soul.
see that this can work due to the
Badu.
success of somebody.
Yeah, and it
Now
creates
here
that
comes
sound.
all this other stuff.
Right.
Like, so I'm not, it doesn't have to be a bite for somebody to go, oh shit, wait, we have a guy who's doing something.
It could be a
Something
vibe.
like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It could have been a
yeah.
vibe because I'm not gonna lie. When I hear other producers doing stuff I wasn't doing, they made me motivated to get on my game. So their energy rubbed off on me, and that's what made me create something else to compete with them. You know, but it wasn't no straight. I'm gonna take their style or this that. It was more like, yo, they killing it.
But you
I need
didn't,
more
you
bass
didn't,
lines. I need
you
to
didn't
be
want to
bigger.
compete on the corporate side though.
Well, the corporate side was always questionable because the way the A&Rs used to act to me. You see, my business was very, very suspect with the companies. One minute they offer me something, the next minute they telling me you got to go this route to get it. You know, and that route meaning, yo, we're going to give you the production deal, but you need to make 2 more hits over here first, or make a hit record over here, and then we can go and give you that.
And they kept
Stuff like
moving the
that.
goalposts.
And then they kept shifting it when the records came, when the hit come or whatever. Like Rockefeller, prime example. Before I actually got in, those records had to become hits.
Right.
Now, mind you, I came over there. This M.O.P. We coming out of Annie up. I'm already coming in strong. So, you know, everybody else who come over there strong, They get signed, they get their chain, they get noticed. I'm at the press conference and everything. I'm watching Kanye West announce his, I'm the new Most Def over at Rockefeller. I'm hearing all this stuff. Everything is ringing in the building. And I'm sitting there like, yo, come on, I'm coming in strong. See me. You're using me for all these artists is in here and doing little different things. I know I'm qualified to be down.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I believe it was more of a circle of friends. Like, yo, you ain't really our friend. You dope, but you ain't really our friend.
Right.
So a lot of that stuff was like hitting me. I wasn't cool with everybody because, mind you, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do all the stuff they do. I don't be at the parties. I'm not pulling up with the.
So I said you gotta go on vacation.
Crazy car and doing the most. You know what I'm saying? Showboating and bragging. I'm not doing that.
Socializing the same way.
Yeah, so I look a little bit like, yo,
The outsider.
who this dude? Like,
he
he
don't really
nice,
rock
but
with us.
he don't rock with us like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And to be honest, at the time, the competition was so crazy that everybody was on high alert. You might have heard a record over here, and then somebody go over there and be like, yo, y'all need to flip this.
You couldn't just let anybody in.
Right.
First of all, you want to keep the money under one roof.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, if you have a reputation for being a contract killer, you can go anywhere. If we start building our infrastructure around you and then you go do a record for the competition who we are immediately in head-to-head competition with, that's a problem. We compromised our whole shit by bringing you in. So I can see that example. On the other end, the things you're telling, I mean, I'm biased. I got those exact same hangups. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so certain circles, they're not comfortable.
You ain't cool in that. You know, I mean, everywhere I go, it's like, yo, what you smoke? Yo, here. Or, yo, what you drinking? Yo, here. And
Which
I'm
is
like,
which is
Niggas
out
be like, that's the corny bus.
yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. They like, you not good.
And then they look
so
at you
now
funny.
they smoking and they looking at me like, dude, he lining me up. But
No.
I'm looking crazy to them. But I get it. I get it.
What happens is they get
You had to find the other thing.
right. They get comfortable with their vice. You don't share their vice. Now they're worried that one, you're gonna judge them. Two, you're gonna take advantage of them when they're whatever they've been doing.
Right, because we're not on the same level.
Sober head.
I hate smoking by myself.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
most smokers hate smoking.
Smoking by themselves.
It's a
Right.
social activity.
Paranoid.
Drinking and
Right.
smoking. Those are two
Yeah,
social.
that's a part of the network.
So when you walk in a room and somebody goes, "Yo, what you drinking?" They're trying to build a bar with you, and you
Right.
say ginger ale. They're looking at you like, "Wait,
Oh, this
I'm bugging.
This nigga about to judge me.
Yo, he want water, he want ginger ale,
And
whatever.
then you couple that with the satanic rumors, and it's like, I'm gonna get high, and this nigga's gonna possess my soul for life. The course is gonna flip upside down. It's gonna be wild shit going
shit."
you produced the Blueprint 2.
gatekeeper, this nigga in the rock.
That's another story.
You produced the Blueprint 2 record, right? Were you in the studio when Jay recorded that?
No.
That was another record. That was a record that, let me tell you a story about that. So here it is. Sauce.
Money
No,
or
not
the
Sauce.
magazine.
The source.
Double XL.
Okay.
So Jay's doing the new album, Double XL, and they got the what you call star producers of the show. So you see the Double XL, Jay new album, Blueprint coming too, and this, that, and the third, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. So you see Pharrell, Kanye West, Just Blaze, Timbaland, DR period. These are the key producers on the album. Now I know my joints in, and I know it's been written and everything. Credit come back. Produced by Prestige.
What?
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne?
The dude named Charlemagne. Not Charlemagne the God. There's a new dude.
Yeah,
I thought
Charlemagne.
it was
I know
Prestige.
what you're talking
Another dude.
about. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for
Charlemagne,
correcting me.
another dude.
Produced by him. So I'm sitting there going, what happened? Same beat, same track, same energy.
All right.
Then we had a problem for a second. What's going on? Nobody's going killing nobody. No, none of that. Oh, is this a typo? Is it Mr. How?
Huge typo.
Deal memos go through. Everything go through. You know, checks is cut. Everything is there. Come back. We're going to fix it. First 500 that go out. First 500,000. Then the next set of credits, you got it. So I had to wait till the turnaround.
Right.
But then at the same time, it's like, why even talk about something that, you know what I'm saying, you can't really get the glory for? You know, so I still talked about it. I still like, yo, whatever. But they made up. They made up because they gave me my production deal. They set me straight. They told me all the artists on the label I have access to, and you can do whatever you want to do with these artists and that and that. So not only that, because it's not a problem. They fixed it. It was a problem. That look was a problem. So to the day, it's like we fixed it. It's all good.
How did the mistake
get
get made in the first place?
I don't know, because they started building what they called, Rockefeller never had in-house producers. The only people that was really producing a lot was the engineer guru, Jez Blaze, Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they was the ones that really was doing the most of that body and vocal work. But then all these little other guys started showing up, and then the mix-up started happening. And I know I was trying to get in that seat. I was trying to get in that seat with them to be one of the main guys. But because M.O.P was over there, I was going to get in the seat anyway, because they not doing the album without me.
Right.
So they like, yo, we in, you in, let's make it happen. We fixed the problem in other ways. You know, like even Dame coming to me, giving me the Victoria Beckham and saying, D, you do that. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? So he made up in a lot of sense. So I don't really feel like I got my best J records off. You know, it was either features or it was that little typo, you know, that little mistake. But I know that even the remixes, all them remixes they gave me, I laced those too for the mixtape stuff, but they was mixtape, you know? And then SAS came, then Jewel came, then Freeway, then Beans. I remember that night, the state property on a soundtrack. Like, I was getting busy.
Right.
I was over there. So, yeah, that was a bad move and a bad situation.
But it turned into something.
Into something great.
Just
made
like
the best out of the best.
Just
Yeah,
like
it turned around and worked in my favor. So to me, that was dope.
Just
you know
like
what I'm
the
saying?
broken language
Where they
beat.
flipped it, boom. You know what I'm saying?
A glitch.
A glitch. There you go. Right. There you go.
I'm getting the feeling that you have a keen ability to see the brighter side of things.
I do, because there's a part of me that God works heavy on. When I got God in me, got myself saved, I don't look at things the same. A problem is a blessing to me, because that means the opportunity is about to come to show God that he can get the glory out of it.
Right.
You see? So I look at it different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm built on that. That's why even to this day, people don't understand. Like, yo, D, you still around? And yo, you rapping now. What is the deal with you rapping now?
Right.
Like, why you wait all this time to start rapping?
Right.
Because now I got a reason to rap. Because God gets the glory in what I do. I ain't rapping for me. I'm a messenger. You see what I'm saying? My thing is here now is to share the gospel with you. If you want it, it's there for you. If you don't, then you'll find it on your time.
This whole album is gospel.
Dope.
I was in the studio like this.
I kid you not,
What
this
is
is some of the
shit at?
best records I ever made in my life.
Wow.
Some of the best records I ever made in my life.
That's a bold statement.
And I kid you not, and I don't feel good to sit here and do the chest pumping thing. But I am nice. I am nice. You know what I'm saying?
Mic drop.
Straight up. You know what I mean? I am nice. I'm nice on production.
That was the moment.
You know what I'm saying? I'm nice on production, nice in writing, nice in spitting, nice in flowing, nice in record making, nice in mixing, nice in mastering, nice in recording, nice in everything. Yo, let me tell you how nice I am. Now let's get down to it. This is how nice I am. I'm so nice where I can go in the studio and you can tell me you never rapped in your life. Give me 2 hours, you'll sound like you've been doing it for 14 years. That's how nice I am. And that record will be that convincing where people will be like, yo, I didn't know you was that nice. Because that's how I know how to pull a record together. And not only that I know how to pull a record together, if you don't got the words, I can write it for you. And not only that I can write it for you, I make the beat right there on the spot. I don't even got to play beats for you. I can tell you exactly what we want to do and I make it right there on the spot. And then when I'm done with that, I mix it, then I master it. Then let me blow your mind now. Let's go in the next room. Let me take some photo shoots of you. Then let me show you how nice I am on graphics. Now let me do your art cover. Now let me put that together. Now let me set it up. Now let me do your descriptions. Now let me build your ISRC codes. Now let me put it in the system.
Damn.
Now let me shoot your video. Hold on, I'm telling you.
Hold
how
up,
nice I
Mac.
am.
Hold up, Mac.
Check this out. I'm so nice to the point now I'm doing all your commercials. Now I'm breaking it down. Then I'm gonna not only do that, I'm gonna shoot your video. Then I'm gonna edit your video. And then I'm gonna build it in a way where I can show you the marketing campaign from the top of the year to next top of the year. How you need to drop 12 singles. You understand what I'm saying? And every quarter you drop an EP. And that's 4 EPs during the whole quarter and 12 singles during the whole year. And then I guarantee you next year after that, you'll have tons of results.
Now I need to
I
ask.
accept.
Hold on.
I accept.
I need to ask.
And to end it,
Hold on. We can clap it up. But how nice are you all with the contract and the prices? That's what I need
I'm
to
nice
know.
with that too.
Okay, be nice with
That's
that.
when you go to these folks over here.
That's where you
They
come
go to
at.
Fly Tie.
I'll
You going in the Queen.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Right there. That's where that comes at.
Listen,
See what I'm saying?
Name a couple of movies, well, a lot of the movies where you had your music played in. Name some of the movies.
That's too
Name
many.
Name a
That's it.
top 5 though.
top 5.
Movies.
Well, a lot of them is all major movies. They
Right,
ain't no
name
B
'em.
movies. Well, there's a couple B movies, but they very, very. I'm talking about from You Got Served to House Party, House Party 3 to
The Turtles.
Last Castle, the Ninja Turtles,
The new Turtles.
I'm just trying to remember. Now, when I tell you my resume on movies is long, you will have to go to drperiod.com and look at discography for TV placements. And you will sit there and you'll be thinking you're looking at a publishing house. That's how many movies. I mean, TV shows from Love and Hip Hop and on. You name them, I did them. I got music and everything. Instrumental, songs, everything. That's how I work. See, my work skills is there. The key to me is outdo everybody work-wise. Now, this is the era. Now, let me show you what I do. That's why I'm sitting in this chair. I need to show you what I do.
That fact.
Well, here we
See
are.
what I'm saying?
Here we
Now,
are.
here we are.
D, can I say this though?
Go ahead, Ty. I know you're going to say something
I'm so
nice.
sorry, but
Right.
I gotta jump in. Cause we done went from, we went from early 90s / 2000s. We didn't really go to the crazy M.O.P. We didn't go to that yet. I just gotta say, what we didn't hit was pause. Gotta relax. What we didn't hit was pause.
Go ahead, Ty.
The RZA.
Okay.
Before he was RZA, Prince Rakeem.
Oh, you trying to go back?
Going back.
They went past that. They didn't cover that yet.
Right.
Okay.
When you did Wu-Tang, before it was Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Okay.
That-
Gotta get to that.
So we can talk about the RZA. Now the RZA, that's my dude. Big
Right.
shout out to RZA. The RZA recently put a interview out letting everybody know, yo, I got a lot of Jews from working with DR period.
I saw that.
It was on Silver Satellite.
And some of this is a lot more to it, but I respect him for that because when RZA was Rakim at the time on Tommy Boy, and just like Jizza was the genius, you know what I'm saying? Over there at Coachella at the time, Girl Come Do Me remixes and the Rakim. Come on, this is on DR at this
Y'all
time.
did a remix.
This is all DR this time. So I'm just basically had to rewind because I know his point was go back a little bit more so you can show that there's people that is in position and killing it. And I had a lot to do with the fact of even how the way some of these guys think, how the way they even organize, how the way they even do. But this goes back to how nice I am, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it goes back to.
It is. DR period.
Hoffa, you didn't speak about the Annie Up.
We
did.
Yeah,
we did.
No, we didn't.
We talk Annie Up. We talk about Annie Up, how it was made. Oh, I didn't tell you the story that that happened the night that Annie Up was made. Now you want to hear that story?
Let's
We
talk.
can get into that.
Let's go.
So now Annie Up, M.O.P's at a place now. The album is done. Big shout out to Premier. That's my dude. Premier, don't forget me. Premier always let everybody know, yo, D, my man. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple. Easy Mo B, all of them. D Dot. You know.
Shout out to Easy Mo.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out.
Yo, them dudes is my dudes. I love those brothers. So the night of Annie Up is made. Now we at the point. Loud is like, yo, we got to get this last M.O.P. record. You know, the body of the record is done. But now, because at this time I couldn't get on the album the way I needed to get on the album, because I'm doing everything. I'm just trying to live. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to make it all, you know, stay together. So I was hard to get up with. So Lays called me one day and was like, yo, D. And I was like, yo, what's up? Come on, man. I know you busy, but we got to get back together and get this M.O.P. business done. And I'm like, all right, whatever, because that's the only way they caught me. And then Fane came to see me and was like, yo, Lee, you cold, man, because I had to call Lays to get you to sit down and play some beats for me, right? So anyway, we gets to the Annie Up beat. So now I play all the newest joints I'm just doing now. Because Fame know I got a big habit of it. I'm happy to see him, and I just want him to hear what I've been doing for the last 3 months, 4 months. So I'm sitting there just banging out beats and just letting him hear joints. And he like, oh, yeah, but where my joint at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to take him through that whole cycle. Then I finally got to the folder that I already had on reserve for them. So I played beat 1. He was like, yo, that's crazy. And then the next one was, soon as you heard, bang, bang, he literally dropped to his knees like, yes, this is it. Took it, went, told Bill, everybody, boom, boom, boom. So the night we on 23rd, 30th Street, one of them studios. So they up there, everybody getting it in, they writing in, they making a record. I gets up there, park my car right in front of the studio, goes up to the studio, and the record was so amazing. I mean, all the vibes in the room was incredible. Come down from the studio, my car gone.
They told you.
Somebody
They told my
your
car. So I'm
City
hearing an
ended
incredible
up your
record
car.
and walk outside and my car's gone. I was so heated the car was gone, but I didn't care. And I actually walked over to the tow yard to get my car. I walked there from where we was at the studio. I didn't take no cab or nothing. I just felt these goosebumps like, yo, this is going to be one of those records. I didn't know what it was going to do, but I felt that in my soul because my thing was, how do you outdo How About Some Hardcore from M.O.P?
Right.
So now I'm like, I'm in competition with myself. Like if I gave him a record that's like How About Some Hardcore supposed to be it, like it gets no better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like Drake doing a Chronic. And how do you outdo a Chronic? Like anything, you know, so it was one of those moments with me with M.O.P. But when Annie Up came and I seen how everybody went crazy for it, then the calls came in. Busted, yo, God, I gotta get on that record. Everybody, yo, I gotta get on that record. Then we got Teflon. Now, Teflon is a hidden jewel. A lot of people don't know that.
That's
Teflon is a hidden jewel. I'm telling you. Teflon got on there, and the way they merged him, then ran into Remy, and just the way the whole remix rolled out. It put a lifeline on a record for 30 years. I made so much money off this one record. I will be crazy if I tell you the number. 30 years of a collectible or something that just don't stop. And it's on everything. Everything. TV shows, commercials. They got the NBA
Movies.
The football, NFL coming out. This is how crazy this record is. It's over 30 years of success. So when people measure me and measure my success, just look at how I'm still standing. That's why I'm nice. You know what I'm saying?
DR period, yo.
There we go.
DR period. Get out of here.
A nigga used to have no chill, nowadays I bump side A. Traffic going bumper to bumper, stuck on the highway. Takes so long to get from Monday to Friday, then you wake up on Sunday like it was just Friday. Crime pays an iron cage, had to find ways. I wasn't trying to slave a 9 to 5 till my dying days. Friends